Good morning, everyone. My name is Katie Moyer, and I am a fitness enthusiast, fitness professional, also a corporate sales employee. I am a yoga instructor, a meditation teacher. I am a kick-ass person who is type A and likes to get her shenanigans done. I am a beautiful soul who believes that we have the answers within our bodies. It's just a matter of if we're listening or not. And I am someone who struggles, like many of us, to get up early and get to a 5:30 a.m. sunrise yoga class. I am someone who struggles with believing in herself, especially when it feels like the outside world isn't really giving you any feedback that you are successful. Or worse, when it is giving you that feedback and you feel like you can't receive it because I'm really not that special. Like, I work incredibly hard. And although that might be true, I think one of the muscles that is the hardest to work on for me, or I like to call it a muscle, or just one of the things in life that, you know, for better or for worse, this is the life path that I have and the lesson that I need to learn. But being open and receptive to receiving all the gifts, being open and receptive to receiving the abundance, the love, the joy, the peace that is all around us, the support that is all around us, even when we can't necessarily taste it or touch it or put it into a normal ego box that our ego brain can understand of a person, a place, or a thing. I think that's hard, and I think that's why I started an Instagram channel called Trusting Your Truth, because I have to be open to receiving all the good that's around me, to receiving all the positive energy that I give out to the world, because I believe that's like just ingrained in me. That's who I am. Like, I want to make someone feel better when they walk away from me than when they started. I want, when someone comes to my yoga class, to feel like I made a positive impact on their day. And not even positive, just that I impacted it in some way, that maybe I set a cue and that helps them relax more. Maybe they didn't like my class and it made them realize like they need to go to another class, and maybe that's what sparks a better journey for them. Maybe I do say something that kind of irritates them and makes them angry and makes them self-reflect a little bit more. I know when I get angry, that usually helps me self-reflect on like, why did I get so mad about that? Like, what is that resonating in me that really hits a nerve of like, I got to check in with that. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. I love giving positive energy out to the world. I love lighting someone's day up. I love inspiring other people. I love seeing other people be more successful than I am. I love when I teach someone a skill and they take it, they learn it, they make it their own, and then all of a sudden they're doing things that I just wouldn't think of because that's not where my creative brain center is, but they do it, and that's the way it makes them shine brighter in this world, because they're doing it in their own unique style, their own unique flair, flavor. I like to say that a lot, your own flavor. I love that. I really do. But it's funny how I really struggle with that with myself, and maybe that's why I love seeing it in other people so much, is because I have to be more open and receptive to receiving all the good, love, peace, support, abundance, wealth, energy that is around me, right? It's just like any yoga class. I tell my students all the time, like, if you guys don't show up, I don't have a class. But if I don't show up, you guys don't have a class. So, like, we need each other, for better or for worse. And I know most people use this in, like, a marriage situation or a relationship, but it's all energy. It's all it is. My energy reader always reminds me of that, because it's all energy. It doesn't matter whether you're talking about marriage, a yoga class, or any relationship, or, you know, your relationship with the sun, with anything. Like, it's all energy, where I still have to take care of myself and do the best that I can to be in my best energy so that I can give to the best of my ability. Now, there are some days where I don't have a lot to give and I need someone else to pump me up. On the flip side of that, it's the same, where if I need someone to give me a little bit, it's okay that they give me a little bit more when they have more. Like, it's never going to be an equal give and take all the time. Like, I did 50%, so you do 50%. Maybe sometimes I need you to give 70 because I only have 30. Maybe I have 110%. So like, hey, you can just chill out and relax. Like, I got this. It just depends. But I've been watching the Netflix documentary on the Tour de France, which I love. I'm so addicted to it. And I'm not even a big biker. I actually don't like biking at all, which is funny. I think it's so hard. Like, why would you bike up a hill? Because if you stop, you roll back down the hill. Do you know that? Like, that's why I don't bike. That makes no sense. If I run up the hill and I stop, guess what? I just stop. I'm still at the same level and I just keep walking. Like, hello. Makes so much more sense to run up a hill rather than bike it. I don't want to roll back down. But anyway, I'm watching this Netflix series, and it is so much about a team sport and the strategy behind it. And everyone needs everyone. And the very last stage, the guy who has the yellow jersey, who's going to win, if you don't know anything about the Tour de France, he realizes he's going to win the Tour de France. Like, he's got it. But the one who won that stage or that race for the day was his teammate. And so he starts slowing down intentionally because he's like, let's give him the stage win. He's like, he crushed it. Like, it was this beautiful, like, I get goosebumps where he knew he wasn't going to win the Tour de France and get the yellow jersey without him. And so he was like, yeah, I'm going to give you the stage win. And so the guy who realizes, he can see that he's slowing down. He's sitting in the leader chair, right, because he's winning the stage. And he starts crying. And it made me cry because I was like, oh my gosh, that's it. Like, because there was along the way, there was days where the guy who was sitting in the leader chair, he had to give up and go back because his legs didn't have anything more. And he felt and he was so upset. And he even talks about in the series, he's like, you know, it's so hard to believe in yourself. He goes, even for me, I know I come off very strong. And he's like, sometimes overconfident. He was like, but I doubt myself more than I think most people realize. And maybe that's what really struck a chord with me is it's the same with me. I doubt myself a lot. I always, even in my ballroom dancing lessons, I sit there and I'll tell my instructor, he'll be like, you need to take a bigger step. I'm like, I can't take a bigger step. He's like, yes, you can. And I get angry at him and I get mad. I'm like, I don't know why you think I can do these things. I can't do these things. And I get mad and I get angry and then we do the step again and I step bigger and it was much better. And he was like, see, you can do it. And I get mad and I go like this. I'm like, I hate that you make me mad, and then I get mad, and then I do it. Like, why can't I just do it? When you say take a bigger step, I'm just like, okay, I'll take a bigger step. Well, I'm still a human, right, with an ego, and I'm a spiritual being having a human experience, and that's my human experience right now. But anyway, it's just, I doubt myself all the time. I doubt myself that I'm going to be successful in this yoga class. I doubt myself that I'm going to be successful in writing my book that I'm writing. I doubt that I'm going to be successful in the Standing in My Light series that I'm writing. I doubt that I'll be successful at my corporate job. How am I going to figure it out? How is it all going to work out? And it goes back to where I started this big long story of it's not my job to figure out the how. It's my job to be super present, take care of myself to the best of my ability so that when I show up somewhere, I give what I can give, but I'm also in the same energy open to receiving it. And the reason I'm doing this huge long YouTube that's going to be 10 minutes instead of the 2 minutes that I wanted is because it became so clear to me. I showed up for yoga today and there was one person and such a beautiful soul that showed up. And immediately when I came in, he's like, you know, if it's just me, it's up to you. You don't have to teach today. And I said, no, I've been craving this. Like, I need this. I was like, it was hard for me to wake up. I had to put ice cube in my eyes. I'm like, but I'm doing this whether you stay or not. And he's like, I'm in. He's like, but I don't have my A game today. He's like, I only got 4 hours of sleep. And I said, okay, well, we'll just stretch our hips. We'll just take it easy. I was like, we'll just make this very relaxed. I was like, but I'm in. And he's like, okay. Anyway, we start moving through yoga, do all our stuff. And then this beautiful song, Morning Sun, comes on. That's one of my favorites. And we end where we stand up in the end of the sun salutation, let our hands come together in Anjali Mudra right at our heart right here. And I always have my students close their eyes and take a moment for gratitude because we cannot be grateful and exhausted in the same moment, as Robert Holden told me so long ago. And this morning I even said, I was like, you know, I know it seems so weird that you're one person and that brings me so much joy. I'm like, but this right here, this is exactly what I needed. I was craving this. I needed this. And I'm gonna get teary-eyed. I was like, gosh, I think the sunrise just always reminds me like, hey, everything's going to be okay. It's all okay. It's okay. No matter what happens today, it's going to be okay. And I didn't say this out loud, but in my body, I was starting to feel that trust of like, see, you don't need to know how it's going to work out. I don't need to know how this yoga class is going to work out. I just need to trust that if I'm present and taking care of my body and following these intuitive hits, breathing into it and staying present, it'll all work out. It'll all work out. And I was just having that moment, and we were sitting there standing, and he's like, yeah, he's like, this changed my day. And he's like, they're missing out. And it sounds so weird, but I literally texted those words, you changed my day, to my instructor 2 days ago after a dance lesson where I walked in not great mood, worried about how I was going to make this life work. You know, how was I going to make the corporate life work? How was I going to make dance and competitions? And how am I going to have everything that I want in this world? How am I going to live in my new reality? How am I going to manifest the things that I want? Like how? Like I was in that kind of mood when I went to dance. And by the end of it, I just remember being like, I'm present now. I think things are possible again. I think it's all going to be okay. Regardless, it's all going to be okay. And it wasn't just like a mantra or an affirmation. It was like, I felt that. I energetically embodied that at the end of dance. Like, no, everything's going to be okay. It's all going to be okay. I felt connected again to myself, to the present moment. That if I just, again, keep taking care of myself to the best of my ability and show up, give what I can give, but also be open to receiving from my dance instructor when he wants to help me, and be open and receptive, it'll all be okay, no matter what. And the same happened today with yoga. Like I said, he didn't have his A game. He told me right before class. I didn't have mine. I talked about how I had to put ice cubes on my eyes and kind of take my cold plunge shower in the morning and kind of revel myself up for this, but it just reminded me again. Dance on Tuesday reminded me I have to show up in whatever energy I'm in, own it, be present with it, but also in the same energy, be open and receptive to receiving the good around me. Be open and receptive to receiving the help that I need. Be open and receptive to receiving the support and the abundance and all the things that I want in this world. I still have to be open to receiving that. Even if it's as simple as receiving the energy that my instructor is trying to help me feel better. I know that sounds very seemingly insignificant and very cheesy, or maybe even just like, how do you just receive someone's energy to make you feel better? It is an energy state. It's all energy. And I still have to be open and receptive to that. Otherwise, if I'm sitting there saying my dance instructor can't help me, like I'm nothing to him, like I have to figure this out on my own. Like I'm just going to go to dance, do my thing, and then I'm going to leave and I'll go back to work and work harder than ever. I'm in resistance. I'm not allowing support to show up, right? And if I want more support in my life, if I want to feel more lucrative, I want to feel more free, I have to find ways to be open and receptive to that. And Tuesday reminded me of that. That's why I texted my dance instructor afterwards and said, you changed my day. And I need you to know that I'm thankful for that. And I don't find it a coincidence, as some people say. I find it very synchronistic, and I find it the energy of the universe showing me they have support for me when I get up to teach a yoga class and there's one person here and he literally says, I don't have my A game, but I want to do this. And I wanted to do it and I didn't have my A game either, and we do it. And we have a moment where he literally says, this changed my day. That is me being open and receptive energetically, not just in an affirmation, because I do those too, not just in a mantra, because I do meditate, not just in any of that, not just writing it down. I'm open and receptive to receiving all the good and abundance, wealth, joy, support around me. It's me energetically embodying that showed up, and the universe showed up by having him. But again, if I come closed off, or I come here and I'm angry and upset, or I'm tired and I'm like not open and receptive to it, or I'm trying to be like, you know what, I'm super tired, like I don't get paid enough for this, like this isn't fair, like da 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 da, to be successful I have to have 20 people in this class, da da da, whatever it is, all those ego thoughts, like I work so hard, no one appreciates me, all that crap. That puts me in resistance mode. Instead of, I knew that I was craving yoga, I knew my body, my mind, my spirit even my ego brain, when it would get in the way, I was like, but I know I'll feel better after it. I know I will. I still had to come, take care of myself to the best of my ability, show up, which is, again, the ice cubes, the cold plunge. Like, I did everything I could to be ready for this class. I went to bed at like 8 o'clock last night intentionally so that I could wake up at 4 a.m. Like, all those things. Still doesn't mean that I didn't feel that great when I got here, but I knew it would be better. And I also, it's like this weird area where you're super present, and then you take a big deep breath and you just, I call it the sigh of letting go. And Dr. Michael Beckwith of Agape Church, I was listening to a podcast with Oprah on Super Soul Sunday where he says, you know, when you really want to manifest, you have to have this moment of the let go, where you are inspired by it, you're in the energy of it, and you're like, okay, I got this. And then you let it go. That you're going to be okay, even if it doesn't show up. And that's what happened at dance this week. That's what happened at yoga this morning. And I hope that's what is going to trickle over into my corporate job, and what will trickle over into my writing. That's what I hope will trickle over into whatever is in my next chapter of life, because I do feel like I'm closing a chapter on something right now and opening something up. My birthday's in June, so I always feel like there's always something weird about June where it feels like it closes a chapter, just like kind of at the end of the year when we turn over into January. Like, it's always like I have my birthday and then the end of June, and I always just feel like something comes full circle, and it's like, okay, next chapter. And whatever is going to come into this next chapter, I know it will include me being very present to take care of myself in the best of my ability, be excited about whatever moment I'm in, even the crappy shenanigan ones, you know, I want to say a different word, but I won't, the really, really tough moments, and just take a big deep breath, be in the moment, and then be like, it's all going to be okay. Let it go. That moment of the let go, so that I can be open and receptive to receiving whatever I need to receive in that moment. Because if I want to manifest more support, more peace, more abundance, wealth, love, joy, it's a symbiotic relationship, whether that's with people, your job, your car, your cell phone, your relationship to social media, your relationship to the ambiance, your home, even your relationship to your corporate job. So whatever goals you want, your relationship to your goals, the relationship to the universe, God, divine, higher intelligence, whatever you want to call it. If I want those things, if I want to feel more support, I want to feel more lucrative in this world, I want to feel more free, yes, I have to do the work to take care of myself, think about what is that energy, how would I feel it, how would I embody it, and do my work to do it, and then become so present that I'm just like, okay, take a big sigh of relief, let go how it's going to come to pass, as Jim Carrey says in his graduation speech. Let the universe know what you want while letting go of how it comes to pass, so that I'm open and receptive to receiving that, right? That's how breathing works. You inhale, say thank you, and you exhale. It's just like meditation. You have a thought come in during your meditation, you say, oh, thank you, and you exhale, you let that thought go. Meditation is nothing more than going from activity to silence. It's nothing more than having a thought, saying, oh, that's really good information, and then you let it go and you go back to the meditation, whether that's an open-eyed meditation, a mantra, closed eye, whatever you want. But that's how this all works. It's all energy. I'm just a crazy soul who is now realizing more than ever, it's all energy. But I have a big part in being open and receptive to receiving that. Open and receiving is really hard for me. It's really hard. And the only way to do it is, the obstacle is the way, is to keep showing up, taking care of myself to the best of my ability, and then being open and receptive to how it comes to pass, right? There's a reason those words resonated with me in that Jim Carrey speech more than any other, because that's my lesson. And my body has all the answers. It's a matter of if I'm listening or not. It's all the things that I said when I would teach group fitness classes. I just tried to do the ego way and say, nope, it's got to be this way. I'd kind of trickle over into this spiritual world of trusting my truth, and then I'd be like, no, let's go back to the corporate world. Let's set a goal, break it down, and I'm going to do. I'm going to do more, work harder, And don't get me wrong, it's still working really hard for me to be open and receptive to receiving. I don't want you to get mistaken that Like, it's just a different hard, right? Sprinting up a mountain is hard. Like, doing a Tabata that I do is hard. Showing up for a 5:30 a.m. yoga class is hard. Like, hard is hard. I'm not going to negotiate your definition of that. What I'm going to negotiate is that hard is hard. And I understand that, I understand that because I think being open to receiving the support, abundance, wealth, joy, peace that I want to receive is hard too. It's just a different kind of hard. It's a hard that is more relaxing though. It is lighter. It is brighter. It makes me breathe better. It softens my shoulder. It relaxes the space in my neck, all of that. It feels dreamy. It feels like calming the waters that I do in yoga. It feels just like this rush of like, it's all going to be okay. No matter what, it's all going to be okay. It's all okay. Just like in my sunrise this morning at yoga, this beautiful reminder from the universe through this beautiful soul that showed up and said it changed my day. So I hope that you find this helpful. I hope this changes your day. If you have questions, comments, concerns, post them below, message me, whatever you want. But I do hope this changed your day. That peace begins with me so that I'm open and receptive to give that big let go, that big sigh of relief, receive more peace, and be open and receptive to how it comes to pass. In light and love. Namaste.